You are watching the Big 12 on ESPN. We welcome you to Gainesville in Donald R. Disney Stadium, ready for a top 25 battle. The 6th-ranked Florida Gators look for their 3rd-ranked win of the season as they welcome the Navy midshipmen to town. Sean Salisbury and John Krisovich in the booth today. And John, Florida looks to build off a big win Saturday against Loyola thanks to their stud freshman Clark Hamilton.
That's right, Sean. Took down the number 15 team here at home by the strength of their freshmen. She posted new career highs with 6 points, had 4 goals in the outing, earned her 2nd Freshman of the Week honors. They are leaning on her offensively, and she has fit the bill.
Top 40 in the NCAA in shooting percentage this season, and you can see she has been on a heater as of late since the first 3 games of the season when she was shut out after that 3rd game against North Carolina. She'll need to bring her A game because Emily Messinese gives Florida many problems to deal with.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, Clark Hamilton's in her first year, but how about Emily Messinese? She has been phenomenal this year, leading the team in most major statistical categories. Over 140 goals in her 4-year career with Navy, up to 19 on the season.
2 longtime friends meet once again on the lacrosse field. Amanda O'Leary, who does not have enough things to say about Tim Scholl, one of the greats of the game, the 9-time national champion, bringing her Navy team to Gainesville for the first time since 2020 today. Riley Zuzai in the center for Florida, going up against Alyssa Daly. Daly wins the opening draw. Ball battling around as neither team can earn possession right away, but finally the Mids take it away. There is a whistle and already a stoppage.
Yeah, this will be interesting. That was Michaela Williams that picked up the draw control there, her 19th of the year.
Our officiating crew today, Jessica Borghoff, Jerry Necht, and Liza Fickert. So it is Williams, Patriot Rookie of the Year a season ago. Here's Messinese, one of a few captains on the Navy roster. The Mids looking to bounce back from a tough 10-9 loss at Jacksonville Saturday afternoon. The Dolphins scored the game-winning goal with just 16 seconds left in a game that was within 2 goals the entire time. Williams trying to go middle. Shot off target, but backed up by a teammate. Here's Taylor Miles, freshman from Maryland, curls around and scores.
Well, how about this, Sean? See the Gators regrouping there. Taylor Miles is a freshman for Navy. It's her 7th goal of the season, but you can tell the offensive flow is there for the midshipmen. Good backup, and then it just leads off to a great opportunity. Around goal line extended, chucks the stick, and the Mids have the early 1-0 lead.
Got right around Jenny Markey, making her first start of the season for Florida. Gabby Corey being held out of this one due to a lower body injury. For the first time this season, Florida has not scored first in a game. How will they respond in the circle with Zuzai? Taps it over. And Caitlin Davies, preseason Big 12 midfielder of the year. Let's take it across the restraining line, and we'll see how Florida does on this end after they were so efficient on Saturday. Used a 5-1 first quarter against the Greyhounds to gain separation, and was never really in doubt even after it was 8-6 early in the 3rd quarter. Monaco sets it up inside, pass off the mark. Couldn't find Franny Hahn, and now Jordan Basso looking to stay in the face of Felicia Giglio. Good confident take, but dropped in the midfield, and Florida scoops it up. Nice job by Monaco trailing the play.
Yeah, this is one of the Florida strengths in the win over Loyola Maryland, is causing these turnovers in transition and then playing clean themselves here as they reset.
Jordan Basso coming off a season-high 4 assists herself, gives it up to Clark Hamilton. Lasso picked up by Jalen Jenkins, the sophomore. Hahn, Florida's leader in points this season, flips it back to X. Off the cut, the catch, no good. Big stop by Giglio, robbing Markey there.
Well, that's Florida offense there, and then just a great defensive stop. It's an excellent feed inside, and Giglio turns it aside.
These are two teams that are so great in the first quarter. They're wondering who can get some separation early. Great run down the straight by Emma Kennedy. Flips it back, and now over to Fabio, gives it up. Here's Alyssa Chung. Star freshman herself with a big rip, and it goes off the post and in, and Navy has opened up an early 2-0 lead.
Well, it's another goal by the freshman here, and really we see three players involved as Chung gets her 14th goal of the season. It really starts with Emma Kennedy, who completes the clear herself and turns on the Jets, and then as Navy begins their offense, this is just a powerful step-down shot that gets past the netminder Fennell, and it's an early 2-0 lead for this very road-strong Navy team. They've played really well when they travel this year.
Something they struggled to do against Jacksonville, and that was just find any sort of rhythm for a run. A tough game, but they appear to be ready to bounce back here. A couple of goals by two first-year players, and Chung, the freshman out of Severna Park, went to the same high school as Teresa Bragg, the Gators' captain on defense. Zuzai battles for the draw. Freshman wisely works it back to her defense. Florida and Navy, two of the best clearing teams in the country, and right on cue, Florida goes to maybe its best clearer and maybe best player in Teresa Bragg. After she takes it over the restraining line, Florida looking to stabilize things here after an uncharacteristic slow start. Gabby Green, the freshman midi, with the ball, out there for the first time. Hamilton takes a hit to the midsection and gives it up to Hahn. Gianna Monaco looking for Jordan Basso. The Gators nearly turn it over, but keep it on this end with 30 seconds on the shot clock. Flag goes up, and Florida will get a free position shot here late in the possession.
It's hard not to feel like Navy is playing with a little bit of extra momentum. Lost a heartbreaker to Jacksonville just north of here and had a couple days to figure it out.
Caitlin Davies from the wing. Steps up, and another save made by Giglio. Locked in early with 2 point-blank stops.
And making her 8th straight start this year, and she's looked good. You know, save percentage creeping up near 500 now.
After a tough start in her first 3 starts this year, she has been on one these last 4. Big collision in the midfield. Florida's defense not set up with Kennedy taking it below the goal line.
That was Sam Hughes that got lit up. Just incidental contact, but good to see her back reset.
Bragg trying to get after it against Messonnice. And now she has the angle, driving down the lane, put it on the deck, but they'll say it's because of a foul, and Navy with a golden opportunity to open up a 3-goal lead.
And Messonnice is the queen of drawing these. This is now going to be another opportunity. She already has 14 free position shots this year, shooting 500. Gotta think she's going to cage.
Navy's leading scorer is denied, but picked up on the rebound. The mids take advantage, but no, wave it off. It's a crease violation. Gators catch a break after Maggie DeFabio couldn't get the puppies behind the line. Now Sam Hughes pushed out of bounds, and we will see the first card of the day come out.
And maybe back-to-back breaks for the Gators. That easily could have gone against Florida. Sam Hughes just hung on to it long enough, towed the line, and got the call. Florida was perfect in their clears in the win over Loyola, Maryland. not having that same early success they had just a few days ago here at the Diz.
Just a 1-minute green card on Michaela Williams. Long pass right to the stick of Clark Hamilton. Florida's leading goal scorer on the year with 18. Basso probes, picked up nicely by Jenkins. Off the cut, Hahn couldn't catch it. May have been deflected off a Navy stick. And now Hamilton can't catch it. And a collision across the restraining line, and Hamilton will be sent off. Well, no, beg your pardon. Let's take a second look. Because it is being assessed to Caroline Gage. Thought it was Hamilton that really had to make up for missing that catch.
Yeah. Now it's a sophomore out of Akron, Ohio, and Gators will get another one here. Again, that's another, honestly a 50-50 call. To your point, though, a moment ago, Ava Jovino got a nice stick in the lane to reject this Gators offense, which hasn't necessarily looked bad. They just haven't been able to convert. A couple of good opportunities, one on the free position and one off of a set piece, but a couple good stops.
7-on-5 only for a moment. First penalty winding down. Hahn takes a big hit around the crease. Something that you would expect from any Navy program. They are going to be disciplined and tough and make you work for every single thing.
As we're getting the call here, one of those penalties was released, so it'll be 7-on-6, although the officials are having a conversation. And you at home have about as much context as we do.
You already see the 18th year head coach that started this Navy program, Cindy Timschel, right in the thick of it.
Let's see, I wouldn't be surprised if they released that penalty maybe a half second early. It was almost at the exact same time, so that could be part of it. And I mean, it would play an impact. It takes a long time to get back into the zone.
In the meantime, Miles gets a quick drink and already have a whole lot to sort out. Just 6.5 minutes into this one. Navy with 2 goals on its first 4 shots, nearly was 3, if not for DeFabio stepping in the crease.
Yeah, every offensive possession has ended with a ball in the back of the net. Only 2 have counted for Navy.
And now Coach O'Leary gets the explanation.
Doesn't look like either coach is particularly pleased with this outcome.
Two Philly natives meeting on the field for the first time in 5 years. You just saw 2 of the 3 that lead Division I in active wins. Only Jenny Levy between the 2. But this stoppage has lasted a few minutes now. That's what we expected coming into this one, John. A chess match that both coach knew every possession was going to matter.
Right. These 2 have seen so much lacrosse in their time. Timschel in her 43rd season, Mandy O'Leary in her 30th. You have to imagine they're just antsy to get back out there for another possession.
This is just taking a little bit too long right now. I think we will see another card come out. Either way, both teams just working on their tans right now as we try to get some sort of clarity on the previous foul on Franny Hahn.
And you got to think the midshipmen have probably had a nice couple of days. Obviously, coming off the tough 1-goal loss on Saturday, now they've had a little bit of opportunity to rest up, enjoy the sunny Florida, which, of course, last time we were here was pouring. Not today, though. Beautiful. 85 degrees, probably.
Yeah, Cindy Timschel saying it was a little drizzle on Saturday at Jacksonville, but it's a great opportunity to see so many former players and families in the Jacksonville area that are on that naval base, or at least within shouting distance. Very proud town along the First Coast. Navy playing in Jacksonville for a second consecutive season.
Out of all that, it's Maggie DeFabio that gets called for the infraction and the green card.
So it will be 7-on-5 for 44 seconds. Let's see what Franny Hahn decides to do. 0 for 2 on free position shots this year.
She's got a friendly outlet there. Yep.
Kate Isaacson, sophomore midi, out for the first time for Florida as the Gators offense looks to break through. Up top, Davies slithers in. Couldn't get a lot on it as the flag comes up and bails out Florida. So a hit to the midsection on Florida's two-way star. Davies looking to get a favorable angle here from the top of the 8.
Still with that two-player advantage. Just 2 for 5 in free position attempts this year.
Florida has struggled, just shooting 40% as a team. Davies nets it. And the Gators get a goal back.
Well, this is good from Caitlin Davies after a really lengthy delay. Just sort of brings some energy back into this game. And even with the two-player advantage, Davies goes straight to goal, gets her 12th of the season, and continues to step up in these big-time opportunities.
Her head coach said yesterday, it is just a kid that is willing and wanting to do every single thing for her team, and that's good because we need her to. But finished the point by saying, if that's a kid you don't want on your team, I don't know what to tell you, because she has just brought everything for us after losing so much from our Final Four team. Davies has been dominant against elite competition in her junior season.
Yeah, you can see the numbers there. This Florida team has played against 4 top 25 teams now, and Caitlin Davies, in her 3rd year, is really impressed. Gets on the board for Gators here to start a game.
Big bag of ice on her knee after Saturday's win against Loyola. Ran into her walking out, said, no, I'll be good to go Wednesday, don't worry. Big old smile on her face. That is one tough kid. The New Jersey native makes it a 2-1 game. Zuzai trying to chase it down. Williams in a battle with Markey. And the Syracuse transfer wins it for Florida, but puts it on the turf. She was swarmed immediately by all 3 on that draw unit, and now Markey will be sent off. Cards aplenty early.
Yeah, already much different pace if you were here with us on Saturday for the top 15 matchup. And as like you said, Markey with no choice there. She's stuck on the sideline and now gets the green card.
Bit of a chaotic start in this non-conference clash.
I'm interested to see the Navy response now that the Gators defense probably settled in a little bit now. This will be the 4th offensive possession, really concentrated. But like I said, Navy's had opportunities. They've scored on each of them.
Jacqueline Johns, the defender, over the line, and now Messinese will come across. Navy was just killing the end of that last green card. They'll have an advantage for the next 35 seconds. Gabby Green patrolling the top of the arc. Davies to her right. Pass out of reach, and it carries out of play. Celeste Forte will pick it up and look to clear. Forte, the first-year starter along the line D. Flips it ahead to Gabby Green. Talented freshman out of Maryland. Flips it to Clark Hamilton. Davies waiting for the final seconds. And Florida has 7 attackers again. Gianna Monaco, 17 goals on the season. Navy's pressure making Florida double think early in this one. Hamilton with a strong drive and another foul on Navy. That's already their 7th of the quarter. And Hamilton, arguably Florida's best on free position shots this season, will have a chance to tie it.
Yeah, we saw her deposit 1 of 2 assists from this angle last time.
Hamilton, inside, no good. Once again, a big-time stop from Navy. And Giglio works out of traffic and fires upfield.
Look at the speed, too. This is where they'll kill the Gators.
Messinese one-on-one with Bragg, forced to go out wide. Miles, who scored the game's first goal, now flipped back to Williams. 12 goals on the season, gets downhill, but Fennell rises to the challenge. Elise Fennell, who made her first start of the season on Saturday. It's her first time starting for the Gators since the Final Four against Northwestern, and she was brilliant. 9 goals allowed, 9 saves.
Almost a great play by Emily Messinese on the ride, and now here's the ball down, that time illegally.
Taking a risk there, and Alyssa Chung gets burnt.
So Navy's quick, and you can tell, I mean, you said it earlier, they're a disciplined bunch, really well conditioned. I mean, this is something you can already tell in the first 10 minutes of this game. They're on the jump to every single ball that hits the deck.
Caitlin Davies does come off for this possession. Kate Isaacson, in the absence of Gabby Corey, getting a chance to get more run with the first team. Florida looking to showcase some of its depth with Davies battling a stinger right now and lacking some midfield depth. In front, Hahn ties it up. No, it's Monaco. Florida working it around quickly, cashes in on the green.
And just like that, tying it up. And this is great from Gianna Monaco, who had 3 goals on Saturday as well. That's a good feed from Hahn, which is wide open there on the doorstep. And then Monaco, 1, 2, give a hug, and we're all knotted up. Gators continue to be dynamic in this first quarter, even with the new offensive personnel.
Monaco, one of 4 Gators with a hat trick on Saturday. It's a good bounce back from Florida. Because we talked about it, John, both these teams have been excellent to start games throughout the first month of the season. You take a look at the numbers, there is little separation between each. Florida coming in with a +13 scoring margin after a 5-1 start against the Greyhounds on Saturday. Navy, well, just as good, but this is where Florida has really built leads and gotten some separation from opponents.
Right, and that's how they've won their games. I mean, even against Loyola, it was Elise Fennell that stepped up earlier, and then the Gators offense going to work. Be a little bit of a different story here today, though, as they're already under 5 minutes and still tied up.
Gators in the midfield, making Navy work it back. To Fabio, around a trio of white shirts, goes out wide to Jalen Jenkins. The sophomore transfer coming over from FAMU. Mentioned Florida looking for its 3rd-ranked win of the season. Well, so is Navy. Mids have already won road games at number 20 Richmond and at then number 11 Virginia. But this one would be a little bit sweeter. They can beat Florida today. Good defense by Florida with the timer at 20. Kennedy forced to move it. Great job inside. There was a crease violation called.
They may talk about this.
Elise Fennell ready to clear it upfield. It looks like the call will stand.
Yeah.
It was a little awkward, John, as both officials had their arms in the air.
I mean, it is close, and that ball went in the back of the net, by the way. But you can see, oh, wow. They may go and review this one.
That's exactly what Cindy Timschel is asking for, a review with 3:17 left in the first quarter.
And we have one look at it there, but it's close.
And late in the shot clock, too. So, one of the new wrinkles in college lacrosse this year. We'll see if Navy can benefit from it, because there was a little confusion. But on that type of play, you just never know once a player leaves her feet.
It was a little hard to tell the ball went in. I mean, it's such a tight angle. Maybe I think really they were just looking for a deflection or ricochet. We'll get another look and see what the replay officials are looking at as well. Watch that foot. That probably should be a goal.
That is just incredible body control from Alyssa Chung going right at Sam Hughes. You see it there too. Not much of an angle that she had.
And she just hits that bottom left corner first, and then it pops up to the top right. And everybody looks at the officials like, ah.
She went post in on her first goal. This could potentially be her second. Officials have already come to a decision.
And if they're seeing what we saw, that's a goal. Coaches who don't have the replays are going to be coming into this one blind. We'll see their reactions.
So Navy, that has really come out strong, scored the game's first 2 goals in the opening 3 minutes. Hoping to break through again here as the officials look to be getting back into position in Florida's defensive third.
Yeah.
And after review, officials say no goal.
And Sean, I'll defer to you. I mean, that's maybe inconclusive.
Not an easy call, but even after taking that second look, you're right, Chung certainly had a case. With only 2 reviews available in a game, I think I agree with Cindy Timschel wanting to take that second look, but the Mids can't grab the lead again. Ashley Dyer takes it through the midfield, and Florida can look for its first lead in the final 3 minutes of the opening stanza. Davies, who has one of the 2 Gator goals off the cut. Monaco finds the back of the net again.
Well, this is terrific, Sean. This is going to be the second really opportunity for an assisted goal with another one on the free position. And it's Gianna Monaco who finishes it once again. Just tennis rackets this one in. Gets the reception from Hahn right in the back of the net. And those two have really built their chemistry here in the early goings.
Franny Hahn with her team high 14th assist after her second today to number 27. And after last year's Final Four team nearly assisted on half of their goals, 2025 seems ready to answer that challenge too, with Monaco the only returner from last year with 20 or more points.
And it's impressive. It's a testament, I mean, especially when you talk about how much turnover there's been on the offensive side, you know, in terms of players getting replaced from last year's. Gators win another draw.
Good knockout as Markey almost faked herself out there. Landed right back in her stick. And Florida, who did struggle with draws once again on Saturday against Loyola, But again, you faced Matty Epke of James Madison and Chase Boyle of Loyola back-to-back. I don't know if you'll see two better in the center for the rest of the season. And no disrespect to Alyssa Daly as well. Set a Navy draw control record last year. In front. Catch not there. Josie Hahn didn't get it cleanly, and now Navy looks to get it upfield. Sophomore on sophomore, Williams goes low to Miles. Marked by Forte today.
It's three midshipmen behind the goal here. An interesting setup.
One of the big keys for the win on Saturday, Mandy O'Leary said, was her defensive unit owning that team mentality. Said against James Madison, they gave up 17 goals, tried some things that didn't work, but it also was just a little too much one-on-one. We have to slide, we have to help and communicate. Very pleased with how our team did, despite it raining sideways before first draw. Messinese has it poked loose, but Bragg going to be guilty of a foul. "35 seconds on the shot clock. The Navy captain will go from the 12. Williams draws the switch, but Bragg gets right back to her matchup. Messinese drawing a crowd. Good help by Hahn that time. Miles trying to make something happen. Shot clock at 5. Spin inside, and the mid score with 1 second on the shot clock. Saving their best for last. Can't take that one away from Chung.
Well, we've learned a couple things about the freshman from Severna Park here in the last 5 minutes. One, she's got great field awareness. Second, she's got a ridiculous sidearm. And third, she knows how to be resilient. And she gets a goal wiped off the board and now comes back and just ties this thing up with a brilliant shot. 1 second on the clock, as you said.
Severna Park's all-time leading scorer with a couple of beautiful goals in the first quarter today.
You can only marvel when you see a freshman make plays like that, especially on back-to-back possessions. Shot clock winding low, and both times gets off grade A chances.
Riley Zuzai goes early, so Navy with a chance in the final seconds in the first to retake the lead. Messinese with Forte honor, drives right inside the 8, and Navy strikes again. Just shows you how crucial those draws really are. With Bragg not honor, Messinese knew to take advantage.
Gets her first goal of the game and the team leader in goals this season. It started with Chung with 23 seconds to go here in this first quarter, and then Messinese capitalizes, just fights through this and able to get another shot off. Through traffic, Fennell couldn't find it. Once again, Navy up by 1.
2 goals in the first 3 minutes of the game. 2 goals in the last 18 seconds. With 1 goal wiped off because of a crease violation, or I should say 2 because of a crease violation, and one of those after video review. It's Navy on the front foot on the road after a disappointing loss on Saturday. Final second, Messinese tries to put it up, but can't test Fennell. But what a start for Navy out of the gates. On top 4-3 against number 6 Florida.
Yeah, to your point, Sean, you alluded to it earlier. 2 goals taken off the board. So this Navy team, they're coming in ready to play, and this is a top 25 matchup if I've ever seen one.
We'll see if Florida has a response ready. We're locked into a battle between Navy and Florida. Florida in unfamiliar territory. For just the second time this season, the Gators trail going into the second quarter. Caitlin Davies and this 6th-ranked Gators squad has some work cut out for him. John, what do they need to tighten up, especially on the defensive end, going into this next stanza?
Well, a lot of these goals have just been power goals. I mean, it hasn't really been a whole lot of assisting. It's just the goal scorers making goal scorers plays. So I think at that rate, it's just about continuing to muddy up that middle of the field and rely on your star players. I mean, Teresa Bragg is among the country's leaders in caused turnovers. Sam Hughes has been strong as always, as is Ashley Dyer. And, this isn't panic time for Florida, I don't think. It's more so a credit to the midshipman speed. So it's more about getting back and just playing strong individual defense. This isn't about slides at this point. This is just about 1v1 battles. So
Suzai couldn't take it. Messinese does. Turnover nearly force, but it is Navy, starting to turn things around in the draw circle now, winning that early battle 5-4.
Yeah. Suzai looked good early, and Navy just starting to figure her out a little bit. To your point a moment ago, Sean, just the second time the Gators have trailed after one, and that was against North Carolina. They lost that game here at the Diz. Hoping for a different fate this time around.
Great start for Navy. 4 goals on 8 shots. Chung has been the catalyst early. One of 5 players this season with 12 or more goals. Here's Miles, another goal scorer from the first quarter. Kennedy couldn't catch it. Florida trying to get to that loose ball. Messinese forced to bring it over.
It's Jenny Markey that stepped in. Look at that shot clock.
Down to 13, but Messinese puts it above the crossbar. Ball ricochets hard off the brick wall behind Elise Fennell. Navy will have 9 seconds on the restart. Looking for another goal at the buzzer. Doesn't look like they'll even get a shot off.
Let's go.
Smart flick by DeFabio. At least make Florida reset below its goal line.
At that time, it was almost a really dangerous cut that burned Florida as Michaela Williams was there, just couldn't quite complete the passing play. Another one right down to the wire.
And the usual Florida clear. Give it to Teresa Bragg and everybody else get out of T's way. Unbothered as she breezes through the midfield. Florida coming off a big win against Loyola on Saturday, where they never trailed. Built a big lead early, gained some separation at the end of the first. Used a couple of big runs to get away from the Greyhounds. It was also huge, especially for this offensive unit. A season-low 8 turnovers. Gabby Green goes out wide to Franny Hahn. Over to Jordan Basso. Everything locked down inside the arc. There's the cutter and the goal. Sister, Franny to Josie. And we're knotted up at 4.
This is Florida lacrosse right here, and Franny Hahn is she's continuing to have just a breakout year in her redshirt freshman season, and for her older sister Josie, that's her 3rd of the year. It's always good when these two connect. You can't teach that.
Just like they were out in the backyard in Maryland growing up. Of course, their parents, 2 greats. Their mom, Helen Marie, played for Cindy Timschel at Maryland. And their dad, Matt, a fantastic player in his own right, is one of the top goal scorers in Terrapin history. Some things you just can't teach, John.
No, I was going to say, you probably wonder how many times those two have completed that play in their storied histories together as sisters. But nonetheless, 4-4 here, 3 minutes into the second.
Franny's 3rd assist, Josie's 1st goal today. Flip back, and Williams all alone for the draw. You don't see Florida players get outrun that often, and Monaco with a swipe down going to be called for a card. From our vantage point in the broadcast booth, couldn't tell if that even made contact with Williams.
Nonetheless, Monaco's going to take a seat. And that was Bragg who got in a lick there, but it was actually before she entered the box.
Well, it's easy to tell from upstairs that Monaco really went for the slash. Couldn't hear any stick-on-stick, but no matter what, deemed enough. Dangerous act or from the contact. And Navy will go on the man up for 2 minutes. Right in front, off target. Miles had a great look, but had to rush. Davies trying to defend, almost poked it loose, and instead is called for a foul. It has been foul aplenty throughout this first half. Neither team has been able to get away with much, if anything.
And Monaco called for the first yellow of the game.
Still just under 90 seconds. Navy opts to work it around.
Wow.
And they quickly score again. It's Chung's third. Fourth hat trick of the season for the freshman.
She's got the goal scorer's touch. This is filthy. It's another pass. And with the player advantage, a little more green grass to work with. Just takes one step to beat the defender, and then the bounce shot just gets past Elise Fennell. So you can see the excitement there for the freshman coming in off the bench, and 3 goals today.
Fennell now 2 stops versus 4 goals allowed, but it really has been Navy getting on that front foot, that big first step, and they've blown by a lot of Florida defenders.
Yeah, this time it's with the player advantage. The first player up goal for the midshipmen today, and they've looked really sharp. You have to imagine coming out of the loss against Jacksonville, this is a team that has gone on the road and beaten ranked teams twice this season.
Bitter taste left in Navy's mouth after not just an overtime loss to Loyola in the Patriot League final to end last year, but surprisingly left out of the NCAA tournament. I think they'd leave no doubt if they can pull off the upset today and rack up another ranked win before the start of Patriot play. They'll host Colgate on Saturday back in Annapolis. All the focus on the task at hand.
Well, we touched on Clark Hamilton and Franny Hahn, who's been assist plentiful today, but both held off the score sheet in the goal department so far.
Florida really has had to work for everything on this end, but 3 assists on those 4 goals. Meanwhile, all of Navy's unassisted. Hamilton with a head of steam down the lane. Opts to work it back. Now in front, Davies ties it up. No, wave it off again. Crease violation. That is the 3rd crease violation we have seen in the first half.
Yeah, and ball down here. Wow.
And now another foul. Florida may have asked for a review before. So beg your pardon, wasn't a foul call, although there was a whistle in the midfield. The official closest to the play. Or maybe it's because Markey's guilty of something. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, back and forth we go here. I thought, yeah, they're going to go ahead and review, make sure this wasn't a goal. So we will see.
The previous play is under further review.
So Florida sideline did ask for a review, and that's what's a little funny when talking to Coach O'Leary earlier this season about that new wrinkle and just how fast you have to ask and get that into an official, and hopefully their head's on a swivel because play can start up again so fast that if things move on, then you don't know what to do. That was the call on the field, and maybe it was a little toe tap. Davies didn't like the call.
I mean, she had so much room. I don't disagree. It's possible she stepped in the crease, but she had so much room to put this in the back of the net.
Again, just from angles aside, it was an immediate call against Davies.
And this is what the officials saw as well. I mean, I will choose not to speculate on this one because I was wrong last time. So we'll see what the officials come up with. They're still taking a look at it.
We'll see if the ball crosses the goal line before she steps in.
It's another terrific feat by Franny Hahn, I'll tell you that much. You could see right through all the sticks.
Because it may have been that left foot that was on the line before that right foot crossed in, but it's a moot point if she gets that right foot over after the goal. One more look.
Might be able to tell by the shadows here. I know that sounds funny, but
that left foot from that angle seemed to be a little bit behind, but you said it, John. I'm a little nervous myself as the ball is still right around the restraining line of Florida's defensive third. Doesn't look like it will be a Florida goal.
Well, both teams have seen them wiped off the board here today, and yeah, I think this is probably a case of inconclusivity and having to go with the call on the field. And I mean, the official had a great angle when she made the call, and so we'll see. This is
we got to get one of those referee mics like for NBA games
right,
and have them just lean into the mic and explain it, because unfortunately, as of right now in year one of this system, it is a complete guessing game. But nothing to guess about here as Navy will have the ball, looking to clear with a 5-4 lead. They have really frustrated Florida, and while both teams have had calls go against them, Navy's start to the first quarter and final 30 seconds where they scored 2 goals, just 18 seconds apart being the difference. Let's see how this Florida defense can tighten things up. Elise Fennell, 5 goals allowed, just 2 saves. But it has been great offense from Navy, just taking advantage of one-on-one battles. Williams can't get past Sam Hughes. Messinice up top with 20. Trying to score late in the possession again. Miles works it back. Now single digits on the shot clock.
Stay up, stay up! Stay up! Stay up!
Navy just dumps it out of bounds. Just nowhere for Maura Murphy to go. And a great pass upfield to Jenny Markey.
And she's got wheels too. Finally, the Gators able to get this shot clock to run out without a high quality scoring chance. But I'll tell you what, 4 of these 5 Navy goals, obviously 3 by Chung, by freshmen here for Navy. So we touched on the scoring depth of this team earlier, but it's especially the young guns in full force for the midshipmen.
Just like Florida Navy has shown, it has plenty of depth to make a postseason push. This team that returned its top 7 scores from last year. Hahn caught in traffic, dangerous pass, nearly taken away, still going around, and pulled out by Hamilton. There's a big collision. No doubt about that one. Florida will have a free position shot midway through the second quarter.
And it'll beat Jenny Markey.
Markey, who did score on Saturday. First time she had netted a goal since the season opener at Johns Hopkins. Giglio there for the save. Her fourth one of the half keeps it. Navy 5, Florida 4.
That's a good stop for Giglio. Settled in a little bit. She made 2 early stops. If you remember, Florida was still held scoreless, and then since then, Gators have had the better of her, including that one taken off the board, but a free position. Good stop off Markey.
The second-year starter made just 14 saves in the first 3 games of the season. In her last 4 entering today, 40. Even with 2 losses in that span for the midshipmen, their goalkeeper has really upped her game. Pass caught down low. Tough shot off the mark. Not a great angle to take it there, but you admire the confidence from Miles. Dyer picks up the ball for Florida. Inside of 20 again on the possession. Messinese finally gets away from Bragg. Fennell just got a piece. Good control by Ashley Dyer. Numbers the other way for Florida. What a great job to catch up behind the play by Ava Jovino, the South Florida native who missed all of last year. Such a dynamic player like Messinese. Hamilton weaves inside, couldn't bounce it through, couldn't get enough power on the shot. And Florida again comes up empty. Here's Jacqueline Johns, former high school teammate of Clark Hamilton, not just on the lacrosse field, but they won 3 state titles. They also won a flag football state title a couple years ago. Good catch by Kennedy. Chung looking for more. Flag was up, and Florida called for a foul.
And we'll see where they place Chung here.
It did appear to be outside the arc. But no,
Yeah.
she'll have a free position shot here.
Already with 3 goals today.
Make it 4. Chung carrying the Navy offense.
Well, I'll tell you what, looks like she's taking some cues from the grade 8 up there in the greater Annapolis area. That's a brilliant low-to-low goal between the 5-hole. 4th goal of the game for Chung, and the freshman throws her stick with authority. Alyssa Chung, 4.
Now tied a season high that she had at Richmond and against High Point. Florida with just 1 goal in this second quarter. Stunned silent on the offensive end, and Navy continuing to make the most of many opportunities on offense. Two-goal game for the first time since the first 2 goals in the first quarter that Navy scored in the first 3 minutes. Davies. A whistle from way behind the play. Over by the Navy bench. Grants the Gators possession.
That ends a pretty long draw control streak there for the midshipmen. Clark Hamilton trying to find a way to get involved in this game. She's been held in check. You can tell Navy is making that a point of emphasis all the way out on an island defended by Maggie DeFabio for most of this game.
Florida just 9 shots in the first half. In front, Monaco can't find it. No save, so shot clock still rolling, and now we may see it reset.
So where the opportunities at the point haven't worked out for Florida, there's been a lot of action down low. Franny Hahn already 3 assists.
So maybe there was 3 seconds away from the play.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Let's see what you got, Gabby Green. She converts from the 8. And Florida's back to within 1.
That'll do, Sean. We've seen more of Gabby Green in the last several games. Had a big goal in the opening minutes of the win over Loyola Maryland, and the freshman makes no mistake about it. Goes opposite stick side, beats the goaltender, Giglio.
Former first-team All-Baltimore Sun. Great player up in Maryland. Her head coach, Tara Shea, called her consistent. Just dominated every time she was out on the field. And against Maria Bragg and Alyssa Chung, Severna Park, with her team down 4, scored 4 straight goals. And a big-time game between those 2 great schools. With Chung leading the way with 4 goals for Navy, Green steps up to make it 6-5. Someone went early. It was Daly. Florida has only led for 2 minutes and 13 seconds in this first half. Green with space, off target.
That was that pair of goals at the end of the first quarter in 18 seconds.
Messinese gets back on defense. Davies runs inside, rings it off the post, and play will continue. Navy was looking for a crease violation, but after all that, Florida may be rewarded with another free position shot.
Yeah, there were quite a few calls there because she was in the crease, but there was also a foul on the play. It was a shot, it was a free possession.
What's so subjective if you continue to play on. Davies can't bounce it past Giglio. Hamilton almost had it, now struggling to put it in her stick. Finally scoops it up. DeFabio has been excellent on this end for Navy.
And she's really cut off Clark Hamilton. After her big game on Saturday, she's just been nowhere near the goal today.
Johns picks up Hahn. Shuffles her off to Jenkins. Monaco with a couple of goals in the first half. Works it back up top to Green. That pass knocked down. Jovino sprints upfield in the final 2 minutes of the first half. Off the cut, Navy scores again. It's all mids in this first half.
That's the speed there, Sean. This is the speed we're talking about. You can see the excitement as Michaela Williams is the one that hits the back of the net there. This is in transition. First, it's a great save by Giglio on one end, and then that Navy midshipman transition. I mean, they are quick, and we've seen it on the defensive side of the ball, offensive side of the ball in transition there. And this is a great feed coming from a little bit of a slingshot, and Elise Fennell's just in no man's land.
After a great bounce-back game for Florida's defense on Saturday, seeing some problems that plagued them when they gave up 17 goals against James Madison the weekend before. You see Elise Fennell, 3 saves in the half, but Navy has really been one-on-one with her throughout much of their goals that they've scored.
Yeah, got to give a little more credit to Michaela Williams on that one. After seeing the replay, corralled it and then took it to the opposite side. Sprawlingly, Fennell couldn't come up with it, and I don't think most could.
Williams, one of 3 Navy players to start all 19 a season ago, and seeing that experience pay off, the Mids will virtually be able to run off the rest of the clock after a false start on Riley Zuzai. The Gators are desperate for a stop on this end, and Williams steps right through the double team. Open teammate Messinese off target. Not even sure what this whistle could mean.
There's a whistle before she let that shot go.
Navy up 7-5 on the road at Florida, looking for its first ever top 10 win in the regular season. Came in 0-18 all time. They do have a few top 10 wins in postseason play, like that incredible Final Four run almost a decade ago.
This new look here for the final 45 seconds of the first half tells you what Elise Fennell has been facing all day. Potent Navy offense.
Chungu's had the hot hand. Gives it up to Miles. Never had it cleanly. And a big crash along the end line, and Florida will get it back.
Officials stop the clock here. Looks like Gators getting up a little gingerly.
Celeste Forte picks herself right back up. At least we'll have halftime to offer some reprieve in the next 30 seconds, but the Gators hoping they can score one more. Markey up to Hamilton with 15. And a foul right around the 8 meters with 12 seconds left. Clark Hamilton with a tough angle, but this might be Florida's best opportunity to test Giglio again. Already 7 saves this half. She has been as good as the offense on the other end. Hamilton slithers in. It's good. Florida with a big stop on one end, hustles up the field. And Hamilton's first of the day makes it 7-6.
This is terrific, and it's a confident smile from Clark Hamilton, who's just happy to be finally involved in the action. She's great, 5 for 7 on the free position so far this year, and this is a big goal, I think, to close out the first half for Florida. The way that first quarter ended with a pair of goals in 18 seconds now, it's Florida able to turn the momentum just a little bit. And with 9 seconds to go, we'll see what the end of this first half brings.
You better know where those feet are going to be. Already seen several crease violations on Navy and Florida. No doubt about that one. Daly couldn't get it cleanly. Neither could Messinese. Markey will pad her stats with another draw control, and time expires in the first half. Navy with a strong start takes a 1-goal lead into the locker room. Elise Fennell and this Gators defense has their work cut out for them. We're in for a great second half here in Gainesville. Top 25 battle at Donald R. Disney Stadium. It's been a great one so far. Catch us for the start of the second half when we come back in 10 minutes. Getting set for a second half showdown between number 6 Florida and 23rd ranked Navy. Let's take a look at the first half stats before the opening draw of the third quarter. Shots almost even after Florida was really held in check throughout much of that first half. But the turnovers by Navy, draw controls pretty much even, 8-7 in favor of Florida. What needs to change for the Gators to get on the high side today?
Well, boy, I mean, you have to find a way to stop this potent Navy offense, and they're just faster than Florida right now. It's what it looks like to me anyways. And so for the Gators, I mean, their best option right now has continued to be this feed inside offensively. And when you get too reliant on passing heavily inside, you're going to force some more uncaused turnovers on your own end. So I think that's what we saw towards the end of that second quarter especially. So for Florida, I think it's about reconstructing what you're going to do offensively, because this Franny Hahn feeding inside has worked, but Navy's picking up on it. So we got to find a different point of attack here for the Gators. And as for Navy, I think they've done a great job. I mean, coming in as probably the decided underdogs after their loss to Jacksonville on Saturday. But they've looked sharp. They continue to lean on their freshman, Alyssa Chung, who's got 4 goals.
Cindy Timschel did say after her team's loss to JU, hey, it's a learning experience, respect to the Dolphins. They were a team with their back against the wall, but I liked our energy. I liked how we prepared. Now it's about asking our team, how do we respond to that kind of frustrating defeat? Well, Navy has shown just how tough they are. Florida trying to avoid a second loss here at home as they trail 7-6 going into the third quarter. Daly takes care of business to open the second half as she gives it up to Emily Messinese. 2024 Inside Lacrosse All-American, who led the way with 86 points for the Mids. She was a little quiet in that first half.
Yeah, Sam Hughes and company are keeping her in check. She had 6 shots, but only one of them hit the back of the net.
Navy seeing big production from Taylor Miles with a goal and 4 from Alyssa Chung. The magic number for Navy this year has been 10 in each of their 2 losses. The Mids only scored 9 goals apiece. And how can they stay consistent this second half as they continue to work all kinds of clock on this end of the field? Even scored a goal with 1 second on the shot clock in the first half.
Yeah, first half, it saw 3 goals get waved off.
Pass out wide, corralled by Miles. Working against Forte, forced to bring it back inside of 30 seconds. Michaela Williams, the stud sophomore, now gives it back to their star.
Those individual battles here.
Messinese lost it, able to pick it back up with Hughes patrolling. Now down to 5. Chung with 1, rips and misses wide. Not on target, so Florida will take it from its back end. Ashley Dyer with a flip upfield. This is Kate Isaacson looking to give Florida a boost off its bench. Florida missing starter Gabby Corey today. Was limited on Saturday due to a lower body injury. Basso, one of Florida's top feeders with 11 assists on the season. Hahn finds a cutting Monaco, too tall. Great pass inside, but Giglio again with another jaw-dropping save. It's her 8th, and the lead still intact.
As often as Franny Hahn looks for that cutter, this time it was Caitlin Davies who got a grade A chance off. But to your point, Sean, another stop, 8 now on the day. Giglio having a standout performance here.
That's really what's been the difference. 8 saves for Navy, 3 for Florida.
Gators choosing to stick with Elise Fennell here in the second half. We've seen a lot of goaltending changes at the break this year.
And it can be tough sometimes because Florida called for a foul there. Sam Hughes couldn't believe her luck.
I guess kind of caught with the smoking gun there a little bit. She looked up innocently, but not so.
Messinice finds a teammate around the crease, working back in. Fennell with the stop.
That's really good vision from Fennell. I mean, you could tell from up here, she's probably going to swing it out to her left and got a really good angle shot off. But Fennell was equal to the task and read it perfectly. That's why she knew where that ball was going.
Hughes forced to bring it to Ashley Dyer, now Teresa Bragg, and was going to say the saves don't always tell a story because it really feels like a team stat at times too, where Fennell again was on an island one too many times in that opening half. A couple of good stops by the Florida defense out of intermission. Off the catch and into the back of the net. Gabby Green's second puts us in a tie at 7.
How's this for Gabby Green? We raved about her earlier, just talking about the way she's produced in the last few games. Came with a goal against Loyola Maryland, had 2 earlier this year against Kennesaw State, matches her early career total for a single game high.
Franny Hahn now with 4 assists, doing all she can to set up her teammates when she has been a go-to goal scorer the last couple of weeks. But that's where Florida has always built momentum under Amanda O'Leary and defensive coordinator Reggie Thorpe in picture.
It's been a compelling battle here at the draw circle today, Sean, even just about.
Riley Zuzai, the freshman who has been in the center for Florida for all the draws, loses out on the first 2 in the third quarter. Now 9-8 in favor of Navy as their number 9, Michaela Williams, gives it up to Emily Messinice, the one Cindy Timschel described as just tough. And this Navy team really epitomizes that. The Mids, who won at Virginia back on February 26, marked the 4th straight year they beat multiple ranked opponents in a single season. They have been so good for so long and hoping to garner some national attention as Bragg a little too close for comfort. Don't think she has much of a case on that one. Blow by Williams. Can't put it in. We're seeing Alyssa Deasy out there now, another sophomore midi.
It's a good look on Cage, but no contact. Keeps the shot clock at 20.
We have also had many, many stoppages.
I almost wonder if they're maybe talking about the shot clock here. I mean, it definitely didn't make contact. Oh, no, well, that is a motion to raise the shot clock, it looks like to me.
From that angle in the broadcast booth, you really can't tell if that was on target or not. If Fennell got a piece.
Yeah, it looked like a signal for 52 seconds. Yeah, they're going to put 52 seconds on the shot clock here. I mean, that makes a difference. It was 18 seconds on the...
Navy ready on the restart, and they retake the lead.
Looked like Tori DiCarlo that hit the back of the net there.
Another blow by the Mids. DiCarlo cashes in with her 10th of the season.
And talk about a prolific goal scorer from a season ago. He's one of the Navy's leading scorers with 58. Over 100 on her 4-year career, 10th of the season. And DiCarlo, man, that's good awareness. You know, coming out of a break like that, a little confusion from us down there on the field. You can only imagine. She takes advantage. First second she hears that whistle, goes straight to Cage, burns him. and gives the Navy another 1-goal lead.
Cindy Timschul's first-team all-conference attacker from last year puts them in front once again. They have enjoyed having the lead throughout much of this game today.
For the midshipmen, it's got a similar feel to it as it did against Jacksonville on Saturday. Just continuing to trade these 1-goal leads, ties.
Zuzai with a good snare, but passing traffic. Can't find Kiara Shicaloni. A freshman mistake that time after the first draw control for Florida in the third. And now Teresa Bragg is sent off. The mistakes just piling up for Florida to start the third.
Well, they're getting frustrated. I mean, you could tell. And I don't think that Florida came in writing this one off, but this Navy team has played them hard today.
Coach O'Leary said it yesterday. She knew Navy's balance and depth, especially in the midfield, is going to pose challenges to her team, even coming off that big win on Saturday against number 15 Loyola.
Navy scored with their last player-up opportunity.
And Florida down its best defender and captain on this end for 2 minutes. Who can step up and make a play for this defense? Williams weaves right through and draws the foul on Davies. Another free position shot for Navy. They're 1 of 2 today. Williams connects. Back-to-back goals in less than a minute. Every time Florida looks like it's going to make a push, Navy has an answer.
Well, this is a great delivery from Michaela Williams. You know, usually you'll see maybe a little bit of a head fake. Maybe you go stop high, start low, finish low. But no, here she just keeps it high and goes high. And keeps it on the stick side and just able to beat Fennell with the speed. And for her second goal of the game, continues to just keep Navy at that 1 or 2 goal margin they've been flirting with for most of the game. And the Navy sideline celebrating here on their trip to Florida.
Navy, who is averaging less than 12 goals per game, shooting 35% and had 40 turnovers in their last 3 entering this one. They found a lot of success on the offensive end. Another man-up goal for the Mids. 9-7 as we near the midway mark of the third quarter already. And off another loose ball win. Navy's dominating the ground balls and possession time and getting the necessary stops from Felicia Giglio.
Yeah, your point, Sean, 11-5 in the ground ball department now.
It is not something you see often out of this Florida team. They have really thrived in ground balls and winning those battles. But Navy is fit as any other team you're going to see.
Well, they've looked really confident today. Right? No question about it. It's been a complete effort. I mean, even with 8 turnovers, still a low number against this Florida team.
Almost a big windup there from Melissa Chung. Miles takes it out. Inside the 8, quickly backed out. Jovino takes it around the fan, and another foul is called. 24 seconds on the shot clock.
Like, wow, that'll be advantageous.
That is now 15 fouls on the Gators, and many wearing orange and blue are throwing their hands out to the sky. Their guess is as good as ours. Stopped by Fennell. A stop Florida really needed. But now what can they do with it? Good move by Celeste Forte. And the senior takes it over and finds Clark Hamilton.
That was got to have it for Fennell.
Not an easy one, but one you feel like Florida had to have to stay in the fight.
Yeah, maintains the largest lead of the game, staying at just 2 goals.
After Fennell steps up, can anybody for Florida do it here?
Again!
Kate Isaacson was calling for it, but Franny Hahn couldn't put it on target. Forte going to be called for the foul. Got locked up along the restraining line, and once again, Navy gets a big-time stop defensively.
That's, once again, the over-reliance on that feed towards the slot. I mean, it's a good look, but it can't be the first look every time. I think Navy baited him into a play there.
Florida playing a lot of defense throughout the third quarter. Navy has been content to bring down the possessions, even though this team does average 34 shots per game. At 22 right now. Florida now with as many turnovers as goals scored today. It is not often you see an Amanda O'Leary team struggle to go on a run here at home. Williams gets around the defense, and Navy has its largest lead today. They've scored the last 3 goals over the last 4 minutes.
And Michaela Williams has another here, and it's defense to offense, beating Fennell down low. And for Michaela Williams, she gets on the board again, her 3rd of the game now. Brings her up to 15 on this 2025 season. And, well, boy, we got to talk about it. Navy's been good on the road against ranked teams, and they're showing it again here today. Already 2 wins over ranked opponents on their territory.
Let's go! Dig deep!
And I tell you, Sean, what's compelling, Florida with 7 turnovers, like you alluded to a moment ago. Only 2 of those were caused, on the books. I mean, otherwise, they're pretty unforced errors.
And for a team that has struggled between the 30s this year, that is also where you need wins to go on runs. And the Gators just haven't had that after losing All-American Liz Harrison last year. Emily Heller, another All-American that was crucial to that draw unit. That is just one small area where the Gators have hoped to find some consistency. Florida has won 45% today, but again, after giving up 3 straight goals, sometimes you need a momentum play, and that's kind of also where Florida struggled against James Madison in its loss a week and a half ago. Navy looking to continue this second half surge with Taylor Miles.
I think one thing for this Florida defense is they can't get too aggressive. There's a long way to go in this game, and Navy has burned them on the free position shots and with the player advantage.
Another hold on Florida, another free position shot for Navy. 17 Florida fouls today.
As a team, Navy 2 for 4 in their free position shots here with 30 seconds on the shot clock. Wouldn't be surprised if this is a go for Messini.
This is who they want to have the ball. False start called on Florida.
It's Ashley Dyer to the left.
It'll be tough for any Florida defender to close out. Messini takes care of business. Timeout, Florida. It is all mids. They've only trailed for 2:13 today, and behind its cast of characters. continue to keep Florida on its heels.
How about that? Messini's pair of goals, up to 30 points. Team leading. That tells you there's a lot of depth here on this team. And 4-goal lead. And this is the third quarter. And we've seen Florida falter in individual quarters so far this year, and this is one of them. And after really complete efforts against Loyola Maryland, it's the road team from Annapolis. That's really turned the tide here in the second half. And we can't say we're surprised.
Cindy Timschel has loved what her team has done, even after saying Saturday was a learning experience and want to see how they respond to that kind of loss. Well, hey, to go from 20 to 11 to 6, that could be something special for this Navy program, as they are 19 minutes away from knocking off Florida, and it is going to be tough for Florida to come back against a team this tough.
Yeah, no kidding. And just with the closing speed, I mean, and we'll say this, I mean, we had our first draw at 1 o'clock today. You wonder, I mean, if fatigue is a factor. I mean, it's been a long game. A lot of stoppages. It is hot out. Elise Fennell has not had her best game. And it's showing. So like you said, I mean, down by 4 against a team like Navy that has shown when they're getting offensive possessions, they're going to burn that clock down 30 seconds every single time. And they're converting as well. And so, you know, this is a game of streaks, and for what it's worth, I mean, how great is it to see the gap continuing to close year after year between these top 30 teams? Anytime that you get ranked teams squaring off, it's no question what could happen.
Cindy Timschel did say to witness USF and Florida State add women's lacrosse, see high-profile schools continue to push and not just see it as a potential Title IX or scholarship opportunity, even to see what Clemson has done this year, what Stanford has done, winning at Virginia as well as the Mids. She said navigating this new frontier for coaches and seeing how what NIL can do for us and help, but the future just feels so bright thanks to the pioneers like Timschel and O'Leary have done to elevate this sport and really make it so it's not the same 3-4 teams competing for a national championship every year. Never know what's going to happen any given day, just like we saw Mercer take down number 9 Clemson yesterday on the road.
Of course, that'll be the Gators' next matchup coming up here on the 15th this weekend at Mercer.
And next 2 matchups at that.
There it is.
Gators will be at Macon on Saturday, then we'll be at Clemson a week from tomorrow before they head to Penn and UC Davis before they're back home in the first weekend of April. Let's see how the Gators respond out of this timeout. Florida trailed 7-6 at the break. Scored a goal to tie it up, but since the 9.5-minute mark, all the goals have belonged to Navy.
And to that point, they're 5-1 in draw controls to open up this second half. And that has also really turned the tides after it was a pretty even battle for the first 30.
Couldn't catch it there. Jovino somehow with a little flick and help from a teammate.
They don't reset the shot clock here, though, Sean, so 20 seconds to work with.
Didn't seem like Florida had clear possession, but that is just another instance where Navy has been a little bit quicker, and my word, don't think I've ever seen a game with this many calls away from the ball, and Navy will benefit with a free position shot. Already 3 goals from the 8 today. Chung connects. No, she doesn't. Off the side of the net. Everybody at the Diz thought it was in.
Tell you what, she's got a cannon, though. No question about that.
Josie Hahn spins and takes care of the clear. Florida, though, with just 1 goal in the third quarter. They need a lot and in a hurry. Hamilton works inside. No foul. Navy straight up.
Let's go!
And we'll see another call away from the ball. Good chance for Gianna Monaco, already 2 goals today. Good closeout from Navy. Not there, but backed up by Jordan Basso. Cut, catch, goal. Caitlin Davies gives Florida some life late in the third.
And I think that'll be assist number 5 for Franny Hahn, and we'll get another look at it here in just a moment as Davies gets back on the board. Well, it'll be Basso that gets the nod here. As behind the cage, it continues to be great work from Florida.
It hasn't happened often, but it feels like every time Florida has scored, it's been off a cut, catch, and rip.
And no kidding, 8 of their goals today, 5 of them assisted. For reference, Navy with just 1 assisted goal this afternoon.
That is to the Mids attackers getting downhill.
Well, it feels like Florida probably needs a draw control here soon. We'll get one.
From Zuzai to Green.
Couple freshmen.
Just the second draw control for Florida today. Or in this third quarter, rather.
Yeah.
9th of the game. Burrowing inside, Basso. No luck. Thought she may have been tripped up, but no call. Davies trying to get after it, knocks it loose, and wins it right back for the Gators.
Take her! Let's go, Clark!
It's a quick restart. Nice job by Navy to get back amidst all that confusion.
Hey! Open it up!
Hamilton gets by 1 defender. The help comes and forces her into a tougher shot. That is where Navy's defense has just been so good today. There has not been a lot of room one-on-one to get inside in front of Giglio.
Yeah, even with someone quick as hands as Clark Hamilton.
Hahn sets it up for Basso. And back-to-back goals for Florida in the final minutes of the third. They break the 4-goal deficit in half in a hurry.
This time it's Franny Hahn picking up her 5th assist of the game, and this is what she's done here in her freshman season. Jordan Basso's right there on the doorstep. It's been their offense today. It's been Franny Hahn, Jordan Basso continuing to assist each other through and through and just finding a hole in the defense, and Basso won't miss that one on the doorstep.
The ones known to feed team up for the goal there, and Hahn, who is not taking a shot yet today, despite her 14 goals on the season. Her season high 5 helpers, keeping Florida in it as the Gators were starting to tread water. At least finding a way out from what was a 4-goal deficit before that Amanda O'Leary timeout. With about 4 minutes left in the period. Green trying to hustle, couldn't find it. Williams does. Navy trying to strike again in the late stages of a quarter.
Mark up, stay up! Stay up, stay up, stay up!
Navy all alone inside, but DeCarlo's off.
Fuck it up!
Final seconds for Taylor Miles. Knocked down by Forte. Navy with a high percentage shot. Can't find the back of the nets. And we head to the 4th quarter in Gainesville. Cindy Timschel looking to spring a big-time upset 15 minutes away from doing so. 11-9 Navy as we go to the fourth in Florida. Cindy Timschul's Navy midshipmen trying to leave Florida with perhaps the biggest win in program history, at least in the regular season. But it's funny because you talk to any former player, somebody that's coached with her at Northwestern, Maryland, or Navy, there seems to be a consensus that she is one of the greats for a reason. The 9-time national champ, always looking for ways to be creative. Amanda O'Leary saying just yesterday, she remembers at Maryland her bringing in basketball coaches, soccer coaches, talking with field hockey, always pushing the envelope and trying to lift this sport up, trying to find new ways to keep opponents in the rearview mirror. A tip of the cap to you, Coach Timschul, because as she has brought up this Navy program, started it in 2006 before their first season in 08. Looking to get the mids back to the tournament for the first time since 2019, and feel like they could be a lock if they close out these last 15 minutes on the road. Good draw control for Florida to start the final frame. Gabby Green across, and we'll see what Florida can do.
It doesn't feel like a 2-goal game, just given the nature of how much Navy has really dominated, I think.
Hamilton having a tough time with that one, forced to bring it over. Luckily, a blue shirt wasn't around to make that harder than it was. Monaco back up to Hamilton. Gets free for a moment, and shooting space called for the freshman.
First time today for either team we've seen shooting space called.
But Hamilton will go to the arc for a second time. Hoping to have similar luck against Felicia Giglio.
Yeah, likes to run on in close. We'll see.
Early on Navy.
Hamilton gets it to go. And it's a 1-goal game.
Well, Hamilton's been quiet today. Navy clearly had her on the scout as somebody they wanted to keep to the outside and prevent any sort of individual effort. But on the free position, Hamilton does her thing. Second goal of the game among the team leaders now in that department. And just like I said, back to a 1-score game. Just doesn't feel like it. But even with this closeout, Hamilton's able to muscle her way through and put that in the back of the net. Not even a crack of a smile from her this time. She's been frustrated, but able to score her second.
Grace Peterson, who has been a consistent starter since 2023, really did get a stick up there and had a chance. But Hamilton showing why she has earned a lot of recognition already throughout her first couple of months as a freshman, and well, maybe taking a second look on the sideline with the trainer helping her out. We'll keep keep an eye on that. 51 seconds into the fourth. And Navy with a huge draw control for itself. Messinese works it back. Caroline Gage takes it across.
Navy no stranger to close games this year. They're 2 losses on the season by a combined 3 goals.
Fell against Harvard 11-9 in Annapolis, and then at Jacksonville 10-9 on Saturday when the Dolphins scored with 16 seconds left. Navy did have a long scoring drought in that fourth quarter. Have not had one here today, but they give it away on an unforced error. How about the hustle through the midfield there? Jovino stops any chance at a fast break goal.
It's a good effort, though, by Gabby Green, as you said. Already 2 goals today.
Clark Hamilton not out with the attackers right now. Kate Isaacson on in relief. It's once again Florida's freshmen showing they can be elite. Right in front, Markey couldn't catch it. And put on the deck, Navy will gladly take it away with Jacqueline Johns.
Johns has speed as well.
Golden opportunity put in front of the crease by the Gators.
And Markey was wide open, and so many of the Gators' goals have come right there on the doorstep. Just couldn't complete the pass.
Off the catch. Somehow Williams avoids all the pressure. They have taken a hit towards the head. She seems unbothered 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. Bragg slides over to cut it off, but a whistle from behind the play will halt us again.
And reaching in her pocket for the green card. Yeah,
Florida had 8 defenders over. That's, yeah, you do the count.
Yeah.
It did take everybody a good 20, 30 seconds. You start looking around, and you count the white shirts, and you go, oh, can't really hide anymore once they blow the whistle. And a mental mistake by Gianna Monaco crossing the restraining line.
It is always funny when you see them counting out the players. I mean, what else are you going to do? But it is a good catch this time by the official. And Navy has scored on their last 2 player-up opportunities here, Sean. So this is something to keep an eye out for. A crucial possession, it feels like.
A fresh 90 seconds for Navy on a 1-minute advantage. Pass misses the mark to DiCarlo, who has scored today. Jovino out of St. Thomas Aquinas. Across the way to Williams. Almost a big take there from Chung, who has not been shy. Turnover forced by Florida.
It's clean as interception as you'll see from Ashley Dyer.
Dyer puts it on one hop to Davies. Florida trying to settle. 10 seconds away from getting back to 7-on-7. Good news for the Gators as Clark Hamilton comes back in. And the penalty has expired. Monaco comes out of the sin bin and across the line. Hamilton, it's good! We have a brand new game in Gainesville.
Goal scorer number 21, Clark Hamilton!
Wow, head coach Amanda O'Leary headed into this fourth quarter looking for a spark. And she's got it from her freshman out of Powder Springs. Back-to-back goals to open up this fourth quarter. knotted up at 11 with Hamilton's dart to the top right corner.
4 straight goals over the last 6.5 minutes.
Well, Sean, it's not something we haven't seen before, right? The big comeback against James Madison that ultimately fell short, and Florida has proven time and again, for better or for worse, they can find themselves out of these holes.
A Hall of Famer in her own right. That timeout that Coach O'Leary called when it was an 11-7 Navy lead. All the difference this team needed to reset and get back to it. Messidis, the vet, beats out the rookie, Zuzai. The Navy with a chance to retake the lead. Tied at 11, just under 10.5 to play in the fourth quarter. Florida has only led for 2:13 today, and Navy right back in front. The Gators defense falls asleep again.
It's Taylor Miles who opened the scoring for these teams today. That gets the 23rd goal of the game. And Navy once again right back in. Florida still looking for that first lead since they had it 4-3. And Miles says, no way, wrap around.
Ends a near 9-minute scoring drought. That's just how easy it's been for Navy at times today. Credit to Florida for getting some CTOs and big draws. That's where they've struggled to piece everything together in all facets of the game. Navy's situational awareness has really been the difference.
We raved about both head coaches. Cindy Timschel has the answer with her team.
Coach O'Leary said, I'm really not surprised talking with Cindy Timschel. But she'll talk about tennis and Serena Williams, and loved how Danny Hurley kind of following in her own footsteps, saying that, hey, my friend's the field hockey coach at UConn, and she told me Danny Hurley sought her out just to ask her, what can I try to do to implement? How can I do some of the things other coaches have done over the decades to make me a little bit better? I don't know, I think Danny Hurley might be bored after back-to-back titles, but no, he's continuing to push just like Timschel. His Navy team leads again 12-11.
Well, how can you get tired of this? I'll tell you that much. What a contest we've had today.
Nobody has gotten away with anything today. They have been watched by 3 Hawks. But at least Navy will have it from the 12 for Florida's case. Jovino to the middle. Good catch inside, and Fennell couldn't see it. Navy with another response.
This looks like Maura Murphy, who comes up with an unreal collection and then beat the netminder. Get another look at this. It's the midshipman. Wow. Wow. Well, the replay does that one justice, Sean. That's an excellent pass reception and a better finish, hitting the inside of that far post. Maura Murphy on the board, and Navy with the answer just that quickly.
Once again, Navy, 2 goals in 61 seconds. Mentioned it before, they scored the game's first 2 goals in 3 minutes. Scored 2 goals in the final 30 seconds of the first quarter. They've just had a knack for striking quickly.
And from everybody, Maura Murphy in her 3rd season, that's just her 4th career goal, and it's a beauty.
First time we've seen Callie Bishop come in today, and she immediately wins the draw for Florida. And a charge is called on Teresa Bragg.
As you can imagine and probably hear, that draws the ire of the faithful here in Gainesville.
Florida's 9th turnover, a tough one. And it looked like momentum had shifted back to the Gators. The Mids have taken it right back. And now the clock quickly becoming the worst enemy for Florida. Just not a lot of time left to try to piece together a rally when you're down multiple goals. But this team does have an epic fourth quarter comeback under their belt. Did it at number 11, Johns Hopkins, in the season opener. And they're going to need a similar finish to avoid dropping to 4-3. Shooting space called outside the 8. Jenny Markey was just a step off.
Be consistent!
Couple shooting space calls here in the fourth quarter, and this quickly, it's an opportunity for a 3-goal game.
False start called on somebody. It goes against Navy.
There's an argument here. We might see a replay of that here soon, but Gators will take that. It was Alyssa Chung, who already has 4 goals, that was getting ready to fire one away.
And now another whistle from behind the play. Cindy Timschel was sprinting down the sideline and was on the field.
This is interesting. I wonder if we could see a replay of the draw control originally.
This has been very stop and start today in Gainesville. Now another referee is at the scores table trying to find some clarity here. I believe Cindy Timschel was shown a yellow.
I'll tell you what, back and forth we've gone here in this fourth quarter. You know, with the offensive foul called in transition here, now whatever happened on the free position on the other end, lost in all that is a terrific goal by Maura Murphy. That is a backbreaker, and it was terrific is an understatement. An excellent reception caused by an even better goal. I mean, you talk about a player who's scored 3 goals in her career, comes up with one like that, and 8 minutes to go in the game.
Kind of plays you need in order to pull off a top 10 upset. On the score sheet, a yellow card was given to Taylor Miles. But it might be because of Coach Timschel, who needs a hug from anybody, and of course it's going to come from the captain, Lola Leone. How bad do you think Coach Timschel wants this one?
Yeah, well, smiles on both of their faces, which is almost a...
Florida gets it over the blockade. But trailing by 2 midway through the fourth quarter, they're going to need another furious rally.
Benefit of a player up here.
Gators got to have it. Hamilton draws the card. And a second yellow comes out after a hit to the head on Hamilton.
She's got 2 goals, and they both came on this side of the field from this angle. Reset the shot clock to 90. You're trailing by 2. You've already scored 2 from this spot on the field. This is great stuff because she draws both defenders and then gets her mask lifted. So seems to be at even strength, but
Tiana Griffin will now take a seat next to her teammate Taylor Miles, who is serving that yellow from the Navy bench. But it is Florida with a 7-on-5 for the next minute 34. Will Hamilton be aggressive? Yes! Save made! The 10th one is the biggest for Felicia Giglio.
and she earned it. This is called a timeout for the Gators, who...
Timeout, Navy.
Yeah.
You talk about how big that 13th goal was for the Mids, with 9:13 left in the fourth quarter, thanks to Maura Murphy's incredible reel-in and shot. But that might be the biggest moment in the game, to keep the Gators arm's distance away, have possession. Still playing 7-on-5 at the moment across the lines for about 90 seconds. Maybe that's why Florida was a little aggressive here too. If you don't make it, well, at least Navy is going to have some problems. But what an individual effort from Giglio.
Yeah, it comes up with her 10th one, and that's huge. She probably earns a new bruise for it tomorrow morning, but bails out her head coach, Cindy Timshel, who calls a timeout here. I misspoke. It's 7-on-5 here, which calls a timeout from Navy with 6:54 to play, and we'll see how they adapt. Probably just try to clear the zone with a one-woman clear. I mean, they've got speed. They should be able to figure this one out, but
fourth game this year, Giglio has had 10 or more saves. Coach Timshel has said she has been amazing. I'm so proud of her because she watches so much film to understand tendencies. She's locked into the scout. She has become a leader even despite her sophomore status. She has risen above everybody else in this matchup between two longtime friends. Amanda O'Leary, you get her talking about Cindy Timshel. She can hardly get a breath in because she's constantly said over the years, I owe everything in my career to Cindy. She gave me that job 2 years after I graduated, really a year and a half. Was a graduate assistant at Maryland in 1990, was part of the program's first ever title in the 1992 season. Took over the Yale job only a couple years after that, and the two have remained lifelong friends. And that's what I loved hearing from Mandy too, because she said, you know, it's not just lacrosse stuff. I can text her. Anybody can really text her, and she'll get back to you at some point. It can be any piece of advice, anything to check in how things are going. She's somebody that we revere in this world because she has always been that people person, and I learned that from her. When she was spending her own money to make Maryland the program that it was in the 90s, to build it into a perennial power, she said Cindy would just always go the extra mile, and that's why when you talk to any of her former players, well, you see why they still have that same kind of love for her. Back to the action with 6:54 left out of the Navy timeout. They will still be 2 players down for about 80 seconds. That's what the shot clock reads right now on the restart. Messinese trapped in a crowd and somehow breaks through. That's just how good the Navy captain is.
And now it'll be a little keep away here.
Florida trying to get aggressive now with its back against the wall. Ball poked loose and picked up by the Gators. But a little too much of that too over a month into the season for the Gators today.
Yeah, to the point earlier, I mean, it's 9 turnovers for Florida, and only 2 of them really caused. I mean, they get out unscathed here, but that's a telling stat of how this game has gone for them.
7-on-5 for 28 more seconds. Hamilton works it back to X.
See how in tight Navy's defense is playing. They're avoiding any sort of cut. They'd rather just muddy it up. Seven on 6 now.
In front, Hans there for the goal. Giglio trying to get aggressive, was not in front. And the Gators get a big goal. It's 13-12.
Josie Hahn gets her second of the game here, and yeah, this one they needed with the player advantage. Just absolutely had to convert here. And the sister-sister connection strikes one more.
Giglio was back in position, was trying to stay aggressive with Navy facing a tough circumstance. You said it, 6 assists for Franny Hahn. She has helped out Josie, Florida's captain, on her pair today. But again, John, what will it take for Florida to get in front? They have tied it a number of times, but have only led once.
That's right, it was 4-3, Sean, and in the blink of an eye, Navy scored twice in under 30 seconds and ended up coming back and take the lead, and they've held it ever since. But yeah, Franny and Josie Hahn have kept the Gators afloat. I mean, especially Franny Hahn. She's a phenomenal game today. She's had it all, setting a new career high in assists.
Throughout the years, Amanda O'Leary has said Josie Hahn's just had a knack for finding spaces inside. and will set herself up for success, just like she did in the first round against North Carolina, where she netted a hat trick. The Gators could use another Josiane hat trick today, as our officials are again at the scores table trying to sort something out.
I think what they're looking at is whether this penalty is releasable, Sean. Did not see any movement after that goal. In fact, almost a defeated continuing to sit there.
Caitlin Davies is standing on top of the Gator logo, ready to go, with Navy already pinned back, ready to defend.
And Tiana Griffin is still sitting in the box there, I think still serving that penalty.
Was a little confusion too, because the original yellow card on the Navy bench was with 7:36 left. Obviously, you see 5:40, so 2 minutes did not pass, but Navy did have 6 defenders over. Even after all that, it appears as though we will go back to the circle. And a crucial draw control looming. With that first penalty released, Navy will play 7-on-6 for 30 more seconds.
And you're absolutely right, because there were 6 defenders back, so it's probable that Navy got away with an offsides there, or an early release, but neither here nor there. This is exactly where the game should be at 5:40. It's a 1-goal contest.
Only thing that matters right now through all the questions, Navy 13, Florida 12.
Daly's come up with 7 draw controls of her own. They're winning that battle 16-12 as a team.
Florida has shown continued improvement, especially over the later stages in this game. Callie Bishop back in for the second time. It's flipped back. Williams couldn't get it cleanly, and a big-time CTO by Davies.
It's her second of the game, and another ground ball. Continuing to fill up the stat sheet.
Bishop comes off, Hamilton comes on. Hahn sets it up. We are tied. Basso connects. This game has just had a little bit of everything.
Well, first it's off the draw control, Sean, and it's a great effort by Caitlin Davies with authority. Give me the ball. Second cause turnover. It's the ground ball, and then headed back the other way. It's Jordan Basso off the feed.
How about the presence of mind by the freshman Franny Hahn to know that Navy, a rare time they were not set up defensively and pressed on.
And still a player down at the time, it looked like, too. I think maybe trying to get somebody on at the very moment, but it's a nice little jab step there by Jordan Basso as well to open up just a bit. So much of today has been bang, bang lacrosse. Now this time around, Basso gets the feed, takes a couple steps, and then earns topside and scores. 7
assists by Franny Hahn today, 1 shy of the program record set by Maggie Hall last year.
It's pretty good company.
Only the program's leader all time. And Navy with a clean draw control this time, and Daly wants nothing to do with that Florida midfield. She'll work it back after the mids turned it over moments ago. 5 minutes left in Gainesville as Gage takes it towards the pylon. Navy has led almost all the way. We've been tied a couple of times, but every time Florida has looked like it was going to make a surge, Navy has had a quick goal. Florida has only led once when it was 3-2 late in the first quarter. Gators defense looking for a stop here. Chung backpedals. This is her teammate, but a fortuitous bounce for the mids to keep it in their grasp.
Chung's been shut down in the second half after 4 goals in the first 30.
Pass in front, knocked down by Fennell. It's loose. And the Gators goalkeeper secures it. Sam Hughes, the sophomore defender, finds Davies. Up to Hamilton.
Well, as we see him get set here, Sean, I'll tell you what, it's 17 for 17 and clears now. Not the prettiest Florida Gators lacrosse game we've ever seen, but they're in position now to take control.
And to Florida's credit, this young team that lost so much from last year, they showed they're up to the test against some of the best competition in the country. In front, there's the goal! What a find by Franny Hahn. And the Gators lead for the first time since the first quarter.
Goal scorer number 48,
Jenny Markey gives the Gators a big boost late.
And wow. Franny Hahn gets another assist, and Jenny Markey with a yawning cage deposits it. Florida has come all the way back.
After Markey couldn't convert earlier in front of the crease, she didn't make the same mistake twice. The Syracuse transfer's second multi-goal game of the season gives the Gators something to work with, up 14-13. And Hahn has now tied the program record with 8 helpers. She has been superhuman today. Hasn't needed to put up a single shot.
Freshman, by the way. She's a freshman.
Not your average freshman. The draw control to Daly. And a nice find to Messenice. Dangerous along the restraining line.
Navy's had the answer all day long. They need one now.
Florida working with multiple bench players. Jenny Woodings, backup defender. Alyssa Deasy trying to get a clutch stop for the Gators. Trying to knock off their third-ranked opponent of the season. Dealing with a dinged-up Caitlin Davies. No Gabby Corey. They've had to rely on everybody. Chung can't get free.
Tried to draw shooting space there as well. Didn't get it.
Lola Leone, one of the captains for Navy, goes out wide with Michaela Williams. Here's Messenice, leading goal scorer on the season with a shot clock inside of 30. Tall pass reeled in.
Let's go, D!
Inside the 8, Leone forced to bring it out. Put it on the deck. A collision. It's Florida ball. What a stand by that defense. And a timeout called by the Gators.
Look at this effort, determination, and Dyer. It's like caught one to the face. Probably a good call by the officials.
Leone was trying to do the box out. Williams came in with the stick. And again, after Florida's defense was struggling in its one-on-one matchups in the first half, they've allowed 6 goals, but it's been a lot cleaner, like you said, and forced Navy into 16 turnovers on the day.
And it's just slowly falling apart here in this fourth quarter. I don't even know if this has much fair to say for Navy as much as it is for Florida to flex their muscles like they've done all season long in these fourth quarters. And for Navy, it's going to be another close game. Touched on it earlier. Their 2 losses this season have come by a combined 3 goals. They've also won a pair of games by 2 or less this season. So this is business as usual for Navy. They're going to need a defensive stand, full 90 on the clock, 1:49 to go, as they face their largest deficit today. It's just the 1 goal.
What do you think the Hall of Famer's saying in that huddle right now?
Hold on. Hey, it's with 1:49 to go. You got 87 seconds on the shot clock. Quick math tells you that's about 25 seconds between game and shot. So I imagine Florida will gain the zone here. They still need to get into the zone, but they haven't turned the ball over in their own zone as often as Navy has today. In transition, they've been perfect. Gain the zone, run the clock down to 25 seconds, and then you put it in one of your goal scorer sticks. Tell them to drive to cage and put this one on ice. And on the other side, it's continue to be strong.
What a week for women's lacrosse. You go back to Monday at the Dome. Johns Hopkins coming back from an early 6-1 deficit to stun Syracuse in double overtime. And that was after Johns Hopkins had it in a similar position, up one. They turned it over. Syracuse tied it, but stayed tough in the extra sessions. Then yesterday, like we mentioned, Florida's opponent on deck Saturday, Mercer, with a strong first half itself. And with a late stand after turning it over and with some help from the post, took down number 9 Clemson for its first ever ranked win. Well, here we are, 14-13. Florida in front after trailing 11-7 late in the third quarter.
There's the zone.
We still have Loyola Penn coming up later tonight.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
Final 90 seconds of regulation. Caitlin Davies just trying to play keep away with a second defender coming. Forced to bring it back over. A whistle helps out the junior midi. Felicia Giglio is way out of net.
Well, hold on. The game clock is running. The shot clock is not. They need to fix that.
Well, one official is looking up at the clock. They did finally stop it with 63 seconds left. That's a good catch, John, because that is what they are going to look at the scorer's table.
Man, it looked like there was about 1:19 on the game clock when it started running. The shot clock did not.
So they do add 7 seconds, 1:10 on the clock. We'll give John an award post-game for catching that before everybody else. I don't think anybody from Navy even spoke up.
No, and I'll be honest, I think that they still bailed Florida out by a few seconds here. There's 57 seconds on the shot clock, and unless somebody brings it up, this is a big difference. It's a big difference. This is a miss.
Two of our officials, Jessica Borghoff and Liza Fickert, continue to talk on the same page, and we're back to the action. Davies sprints inside and finds Markey. Final minute of the fourth quarter. Second mid comes over. Franny Hahn doesn't need to be anywhere near X. Now off to Monaco. Florida trying to hang on with Johns there. Curling around, Monaco puts a shot up. Still loose, picked up by Navy. Only for a moment though, Hamilton comes out of nowhere to secure it.
Shot clock didn't change though.
Off the catch, Monaco, no! Giglio has to heave, but first a timeout from the sideline. Well, I guess if you're Florida, have to do something, but again, the difference between 10 and 20 seconds feels like a lifetime going from end to end.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, there's a lot to unpack here, but we'll start with the fact that probably didn't need to be a shot off there with about 22 seconds left, and it's a great save by Giglio. Comes up with her 11th of the game, but yes, Sean, to your point, I mean, you can go 20 seconds here, and 10 not so much. And with 13 seconds on the shot clock, you see in the background there, you don't need to take that shot. So it's a mental error, but
yeah, again, that's what you think of too. Okay, if you're right in front or you had a good angle, but to Navy's credit, Giglio was ready. There were two defenders right there to at least make it a lot tougher than it was despite the close quarters.
And a great save to her credit as we see both head coaches.
On the right, #1 in wins in the sport. On the left, #3. Those among active coaches in D1 lacrosse Amanda O'Leary entering with 4:06 after Saturday's win against Loyola and Cindy Timschel. Can't say enough about her. This Navy team that was flat out snubbed from the tournament last year after a heartbreaker in overtime in the Patriot League final. This team has shown they are as good as those teams in the past that made the quarterfinals in 2018 and the Final Four in 17. After a heartbreaker in the final seconds at Jacksonville, Navy trying to avoid the same fate in Gainesville today. Well, Elise Fennell, you better be ready because you better expect something on goal.
She's made the saves when she needed to today. She will have one more to send the Gators to victory.
So Navy is forced to bring it back to the goal. But Michaela Williams will be the one to bring it up. Gators just trying to make her turn once. Down to 10. Quick flip. Chung's gonna have to go. Ball knocked loose. Gators have it. Florida shows some fight. And they rally from a 4-goal second half deficit to stun Navy 14-13. Florida has earned its 3rd ranked win this season, already matching as many as they had in 2024 and 2023. And who else with the CTO in the closing seconds than their captain and leader on the defensive end, Teresa Bragg.
That's what a fitting way to end. You've got to give credit to the Navy midshipmen who come down to Florida and are going to leave with another heartbreaker here, their second 1-goal loss in as many contests. But that's the Florida defense stepping up when they need to, and Teresa Bragg, as you said, comes up with the caused turnover when they needed her most after what looked like was going to be an opportunity there in their own zone. Bragg says no to the dynamic freshman who already had 4 goals today. She's turned aside, and wow, the Gators hang on. What a game.
Someone who has rightfully earned All-America chatter, now in her 3rd year as a defensive starter. A heartbreaker for Navy to drop. But man, what a game throughout these 60 minutes today.
And you got to look towards the last 3 goal scorers of the game. Don't forget, Navy was up by 2 in the waning minutes of this 4th quarter. But it's Josie Hahn, Jordan Basso, and Jenny Markey. A couple of the veterans getting it done here for Florida.
Let's go to our game summary now. Taking a look at the final stats today. Clark Hamilton with some clutch goals in the second half. And you said it, Navy off to a great start. They led all throughout, but just couldn't close it. They go scoreless for the final 9-13 as Franny Hahn ties a program record with 8 assists today.
And for Navy, you have to tip your cap to Alyssa Chung, who gave the midshipmen that early boost with 4 first-half goals, tied her new career high. But it was Florida continuing to hang on enough into that back half of the 3rd quarter and then dominating the 4th as they've done so far this season.
A top 25 battle that lives up to the billing in Gainesville. Florida takes it with some clutch plays late. A total team effort gets it done to help them improve to 5-2 on the season. Navy drops to 5-3. What a ball game, as Florida's late surge is enough to win it 14-13. For John Kristovich and the rest of our incredible crew, I'm Sean Salisbury saying so long from Gainesville.